Welcome back. It's hard to imagine, but Meals on Wheels is celebrating a birthday. And it's like 48 years old. And when you think of the thousands of meals that have been prepared and served, it's a blessing, and it's a wonderful thing, and it's all over the country. And we have it right here, and I have Julie Accetta here with me, and she is the Director of Community Relations for Meals on Wheels right here in Greenville County.
Yes, ma'am.
But wherever you happen to be, I'll bet there's a Meals on Wheels.
There sure are. There's about 1,500 senior nutrition programs all throughout the United States.
And a lot of people, we all know, everybody's heard Meals on Wheels, but what really is it? Where does the money come from, and who cooks the meals, and what, if somebody wants to volunteer, what are they required to do?
Sure. So Meals on Wheels, like you said, is a community organization. Our particular organization delivers all throughout Greenville County. We deliver 1,500 meals a day, and we prepare all of those meals ourselves in our kitchen located right off Augusta Road. We have 2 full-time and 4 part-time kitchen staff that start cooking about 6:30 in the morning. Ooh. And get everything, yeah, I'm not even out of bed yet, but they get everything prepped and ready to go. Then we have a group who comes and packages those meals, and then we have volunteers who come and deliver them. They come and pick up the meals either at our office or at one of our drop-off sites. We give them the driving directions. We give them all the food they need to deliver. We tell them exactly where to go, and they just go from door to door delivering a meal and really so much more.
So they're given a route just like a postman.
Exactly right, like a paper route.
And they would take the meals, and I'll bet some of these people, when they ring that doorbell, it's probably the only person, the only contact some of these people have.
That's very true.
In the course of a day, right?
That's very true. They're homebound, which means they have limited driving capability. They may be able to get to a doctor's appointment or to and from church, but on a regular basis to get out, to get food, to see people is just a challenge. So without that lovely volunteer coming to the door with a meal and a smile, they may not have any bright part of their day.
Who qualifies? I know we're going to show this, but who qualifies for this?
Yeah, anyone who either for mental or physical challenges is unable to cook a meal, so they may be able not to see well enough, stand long enough, remember to turn on and off the stove. Again, it's a challenge, and for many of them, just impossible. And then they're homebound, so they do have that limited driving capability.
So most of the people that you interact with would be senior citizens?
Seniors, yeah, the majority are. We do not have an age requirement, so we may have some younger folks. Probably less than 100 of our clients are under the age of 60, but they may, have suffered a stroke, or they're wheelchair bound for any reason, blind, any other disability makes it difficult for them to get out, and difficult for them to cook. So regardless of their age, we're happy to serve them, although the majority of folks, you are right, are senior.
When you think about, who plans all these meals and prepares all this food? It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, after 47, 48 years, we've learned a thing or two. It's a pretty well-oiled machine.
Yeah, you're celebrating a birthday.
Yeah, October 16th.
Meals on Wheels will be, what, 48 or 49 years old in October.
Yep, 48. We started October 16th, 1968, and we delivered 21 meals that first day, and now we're doing 1,500 a day. So we've definitely
1,500 meals a day.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who qualifies? How do people, if somebody out there said, just because you'd like to be home and have somebody bring you a meal, it doesn't work that way, right?
Right. We do have a basic referral requirement where it's a one-page referral that a doctor can fill out, a nurse can fill out, someone from an in-home health care provider, a social service agency, just someone who can basically refer someone and vouch for the fact that they can't cook a meal or it's difficult for them to, and then they are homebound.
Now, you get all this food. I can't imagine getting all those meals ready every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, we have a fantastic kitchen staff. Tammy Wood is our kitchen supervisor, and she does all of the ordering of the ingredients. Her supervisor is our director of nutrition and client services, and she plans the meals out. We change it usually once or twice a year, so it's not the same thing over and over again, but the meals are actually on a 4-week rotation. So what they saw today, they're not going to see for another month. So again, it's not too redundant. They're getting a variety of different menu options. And like I said, we try to seasonally change that at least once or twice a year.
Now, many of these people would have physical problems, maybe diabetes or whatever,
Sure.
they be on special diets.
Yep.
How do you deal with that?
Well, we have a variety of dietary options, of course. Our standard meal across the board is diabetic friendly. It's just a good diet for a
So you're
vulnerable
not going to give
population
them
to follow. Tons of sugar and salt and
all that-
sodium, and no, all the meals are just free.
they're aimed for good health.
They are. They're nutritious as well as delicious, but we do have specialty options. We have a vegetarian. We have chopped and pureed if they have difficulty chewing or swallowing. We have a renal diet, which is for folks with kidney issues. We have no pork if there's religious preference, and no fish if they're allergic to seafood. So we definitely offer a variety of options to meet their dietary needs.
Now you brought what?
Just some coolers.
Julie,
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing that, are they provided with this or do they bring their own?
That depends. They can either borrow them from us. That means when they're done with their route, though, they do have to come back
But
to
they're
our
given
office
a
and
route
return
just
them.
like a postman.
Exactly, exactly. It's got just about 10 stops on it, all within a few mile radius. Often there's multiple clients on the same street, so
So you try to keep people, in other words, they're not running here
All
and
over
there.
town,
Yeah,
correct.
they have a little area that they are responsible for.
absolutely. And our goal really is to make it so they can do it just in about an hour and a half. So people who work can do it and take their lunch break and deliver some meals once a week or once a month during lunch. So we make it really, really easy for folks.
So do you need help?
Yes, we definitely need help. Volunteer delivery is our biggest need from the standpoint of what we're really in need of, and we have open routes every single day, 5 days a week. So we are always looking for more drivers.
Now, are you looking for a certain age group or?
As long as someone can drive a car, which for people who do have kids, it's an opportunity for you to bring your kids along with you, show them what giving back really looks like. The first time I ever delivered Meals on Wheels was in Cincinnati, Ohio, when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I went with my grandmother, and that has really set me up for a career in giving back. And had I not had that opportunity at such a young age, I may not be where I am today. So as long as someone is able to drive a car and give an hour of their time, they qualify to be a volunteer.
So they have to go to a certain place, and the meals are given to them, and then they have a route that they follow.
Yep, so we've got our main location off Augusta Road where all of the meals are prepared. People can come and pick up their meals and their routes there anytime between 10 and noon. And then we do have drop-off sites throughout the county. So we have set times where we meet at a church parking lot in Travelers Rest, Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Taylor's, and Piedmont. And so volunteers don't have to come all the way in from TR and then all the way back out. They just need to meet at that church at that set time to get those
And
meals.
somebody is there in the church parking lot,
Yep.
I guess, with the food.
A van full of food and the route sheets, and they all take it from there. Our directions will give them directions from either our office or the drop-off site, wherever they're picking up, to the first stop, first to the second, second to the third, and so on. If they bring their own coolers, when they're done, they're done. They can just go home and see us the next time they deliver. But if they do want to borrow coolers from us, that's fine. We just need to make sure we get them back.
So now they would all say, okay, I have an hour and a half, one day a week or one day every 2 weeks, I could do this.
Absolutely. There's a number of ways to sign up for delivery. If people want to do a regular route, just like you said, the minimum time to sign up, the qualifications per month is once a month. So I do routes all the time because I work at Meals on Wheels, but I have my regular route that if I ever leave, those people are coming with me. I will continue to deliver them, and it's the third Friday of every month. So I just have it recurring on
That's
my
your
calendar.
day.
That's my day. That's my route. Those are my people, and I look forward to it. But if people want to do it every other week or once a week, that's available as well. We also have people who may not want a regular route or don't want to commit necessarily to a set schedule. That's fine. They can be a substitute where they can either just call us up and say, hey, I can deliver today, or they can receive emails that say, here's open routes the following week, and then they can just fill in as needed. Obviously, people take vacations or get sick, go out of town, and so we're always looking for substitutes to help fill in. And then for the really adventurous people who want to commit to a certain schedule but not necessarily the same route, which I love because I love to see different parts of town and meet different people, you can sign up for a schedule and just say, I'll take whatever route you have. So if you want to say every Wednesday I want to deliver in the Taylor's area, we can just send you on a different route in the Taylor's area every Wednesday, and you get to have a little adventure.
And how do people qualify for this? And I mean, what
Yeah, there's no
You know,
age.
everybody would say, gee, I'd like to have a hot
Sure.
meal delivered to me every day, and I wouldn't have to go to the grocery store, and I wouldn't have to cook.
I know, right? Yeah, we do not have any age or income requirements, so that's not a barrier. It really is just somebody's inability to prepare a meal and inability to get out. And as long as they have a doctor or a nurse or someone who can vouch for that fact, they can get that referral over to us, and we'll assess and make sure that they're eligible.
And they do not pay for the food.
All the meals are free of charge across the board, regardless of income. So it's just a free meal and a free visit, which is often more important than the food itself.
Julie, who plans all these meals and who cooks all this food?
Yeah, we have a phenomenal team.
mind-boggling.
It really is. Yeah, there are some days where I sort of look up from my computer and think, oh gosh, we did that again, and we're going to prepare to get it done tomorrow. We've got about 29 people on staff, and that's full and part-time. That's anything from people in the kitchen preparing, to our receptionist answering phones, to our volunteer coordinator, to people, our client services team. It's just a great team of people. Again, 29 of us who make sure it happens every day, but without the volunteers, the meals would not get out.
The meal would just sit there.
Oh, absolutely. We are a volunteer-run organization, and as staff, we just support volunteers in fulfilling our mission.
It's really an amazing thing.
Thank you.
And 1,500 meals per day in Greenville County alone. So you can imagine all over the United States this is going on.
Yeah. Meals on Wheels is a national brand, a national concept. We have a national association in Washington, D.C. And as member organizations, we sort of support one another with information and how we do things and operations. But the way each individual meal program works, we're all independent, so we all do things somewhat the same, some a little bit different. You know, some meal programs get government funding, we don't. Some have age and income requirements, we don't. Not that it's good or bad either way, but yeah. The structure nationally really allows each meal program to serve their community as best. You know, what works in Austin, Texas may not work in Greenville, South Carolina. So we do have that freedom to operate independently.
So you, as a volunteer, you can say, all right, I could do this once every 2 weeks, or I could do this 3 days a week, or how you work with individual people.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, what they can do.
We are so flexible in that way that it's almost mind-boggling that we can accommodate really anybody's interests or level of engagement. We can pick a certain part of town, a certain day of the week, a certain week of the month. We really make it possible. I mean, we have one volunteer who delivers every single day, 2 or 3 routes a day, and that's how she wants to give back, and we love her dearly. But some people can only, maybe do it during the summer, or, once during Christmas or something like that, and those volunteers are as valuable.
So you welcome anyone,
yes.
And they're celebrating 48 years in October.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
so
it's a long time.
It's all grown and mushroomed and become a very important thing. And this is sometimes the only hot meal that this person would receive.
Yeah, and it really is so much more than the meal. Our clients are as hungry for that human interaction as they are for the meals that we provide. And you can really tell that when you knock on someone's door and they're like, oh, thank you for the meal, this looks delicious. And then they want to tell you about their kids and their grandkids and meet their pets and what they did over the weekend. And that opportunity to really just interact and develop a relationship is an integral part of what our organization does.
But you work with the volunteers so that they can do just what they're able to do. If they don't have a long time to spend at every house, they have to know that.
Absolutely. And our clients know we can't spend all day with everybody, otherwise we would be,
all right.
doing...
And I guess you always need volunteers.
Always, yes.
233-6565. And of course that's 864. That's Meals on Wheels. I'll keep it here if you didn't get it, but if you have some time or you'd like to get involved in some way, it's a great program, and it's a life-saving program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. She is Director of Community Relations. I can see why they need you.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity.
So wherever you are, stay happy, drive safely, and eat wholesome food. We'll see you next time.